Hi everyone, I'm here with Zsofia, our newest associate trainer at Coacharya. Hi Zsofia.
Hi Magda, nice to see you here. And thanks
Yeah,
for
great
the
to see you.
interview.
I wanted to introduce you to our community so they can get to know you a little bit. And you're based in Australia, but you're originally from Hungary. Is that
Hungary,
right?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's correct.
So what was your journey? How did you get to Australia?
Well, it's quite interesting. We've been living here 8 years, and yes, I'm Hungarian. As a child, I lived in Africa and also in the UK as an au pair and in America for a summer. And I started working in HR, in corporate HR, after I finished uni or even before I finished uni. So I always saw opportunities to move around. And yes, we are not expats here, but probably that insight prompted me and my husband to explore opportunities, lifestyles outside of Hungary. So it's quite exciting. We have 3 children, so as you can imagine, it's quite busy, and it was very full on when we moved here because they were young, they didn't speak English, but we are all settled now. So this is a very interesting phase in our lives, and for me professionally as well, having met you and Coacharya and what Coacharya brings, the philosophy and the ritual offerings to coaches. So I'm really looking forward to be part of this community.
What about coaching? What brought you to coaching?
What brought me to coaching is that I mentioned I used to work in corporate HR. So there were leaders who had coaches. I also had coaches myself. And then when the opportunity came, I enrolled into coach training school 16 years ago. And then it just gradually grew from there. That originally I was just in the beginning using it as a tool or in my toolbox as a leader or manager, and then gradually it grew. I did another course 10-12 years ago, and then it's just a gradual learning. It's a journey. I look at it. So you start somewhere, and then you realize that how much there is more to learn and grow. Not just as a leader, but as a human, and then also to offer this skill to others. So the leaders I work with, actually most of our conversations in the coaching sessions, it comes up to use coaching as part of their toolbox and skills, and it's just really great to have to use this. I'm not saying it's working with my children, but I try.
Hey, you can't win them all, but you gotta try. That's really interesting you say that, because that's a theme that I hear all the time, and I experience myself. It's coach training, becoming a coach. There's so much personal growth and self-awareness that happens. People are always taken aback, and yes, since my awareness has been heightened around coaching, I can see it everywhere now, and I can see its applications everywhere now. Yeah.
It doesn't work with my kids because they know when I'm coaching them, and they just say, "Hi, mom, don't coach me. I'm not your client." So, yeah. But anyway, that's just, I guess, the self. Yeah, exactly.
So right now you work with individuals and teams, is that right?
Yeah, so I work as a mentor coach with individuals, and with groups I work as a supervisor and coach supervisor, like with other coaches. And I also did a team coach training, so that's my next journey in a way as well, to support teams to be more effective, to work better, to achieve results at a greater capacity, so and greater result. So yeah, a mixture. And individually, I just reflected on your question. The first part of your question is that, yeah, I work with leaders one-on-one in global organization worldwide. So from anybody from New Zealand, I also have, and to America and Europe. So it's a quite diverse group of leaders I work with, and I'm feel fortunate and lucky to be able to support them.
I'm glad you actually mentioned that, because what I find especially appealing about you as a trainer is just your multitude of experiences across life, continents, cultures, languages. I think that's part of what, for me, makes Coacharya experience so special, because each cohort is very global. But in your case, it's not just the cohort that's going to be global. You're so global. Do you feel Australian right now, or do you still kind of draw from all these multicultural experiences in your daily work?
I think draw. I'm getting more and more Australian, I think, especially in not. I used to be very direct in communication. I think that's changing. So that's an insight that I'm having. And I'm not going to be fully Australian because I'm Hungarian and I lived all these, countries and I learned German, I learned Spanish and French. Not that I'm really good in those languages, but it just provides an insight. And also from a family perspective, we also have quite diverse cultural, how do you say this? Like the variety of cultures in our family as well in the broader family. So yeah, it's a mixture.
Why did you want to start training other people to become coaches?
Oh, well, that's an interesting question, and I reflected on this. So I'm a teacher originally, and I chose teaching because I didn't necessarily knew what I wanted to do. But now having, as you pointed out, the life experiences, me maturing, I just find it to be something that I'm really interested in pursuing next and work with not just one-on-one, but in a group or team setting and see others grow and benefit of probably what I've been through as well and the experiences that I had, and also what I mentioned, that leaders using coaching skills in their work or individuals growing personally and professionally and just have a better self-awareness. And I guess that's what really drove me to explore or drives me to explore opportunities beyond one-on-one coaching.
One thing that just occurred to me is you have also a special advantage because of your ICF background. You've been
Yes.
in a leadership position within the ICF hierarchy, so you know that whole process a little better than anybody else at Coacharya. Oh, other than Cindy, perhaps, because she was also a president.
Yeah.
What did you do with ICF?
So I was a president here in Australia in the Queensland branch for 3 years, and before that I was involved with virtual events and also social media. And I'm also currently, because I'm not president anymore and I have more time, or I thought I have, is I got myself involved with the nominating committee 2 years ago. So this is going to be my 3rd year. So we are selecting the board directors for the professional coaches organization within ICF, and we are going to be organizing a virtual summit here in Australia later this year, which I also try to get myself involved in. But yeah, it's quite exciting. I really love meeting people and the connections I make, and I'm in touch with a few people I met while I was president still. So it's really just nice community or building the reach of and connecting, I guess. Yeah, I really love that.
It's great. I think people that are going to be working with you as learners, it's great to see both your experience as a coach as well as your experience on the ICF, the credentialing side. I think is going to be very useful in a very practical way for learners when they work with you.
Yeah, I can offer them some support in that regard as well, and just think more broadly when you enroll into coach training, and probably I always say don't think with the end in mind, but I know that people might not know what they don't know, so
right.
Just look at it as a journey and what evolves out of that.
And last question from me. Within the world of coaching, I mean, you talked about learning, you talked about now you're expanding into team coaching. Is there a particular area that's always been kind of the thing that keeps moving you forward, an area of coaching where it's just fascinating to you?
What drives me is connecting with people, to see them grow, to develop, to have the self-awareness, and also as leaders use coaching skills in their daily life, because then they are going to be more efficient, more effective as leaders, but also the engagement and the productivity of their teams will grow as well. So just probably being a better coach for me, what drives me forward rather than anything.
I like that. And for anyone who's watching, we'll do more on this because leadership and coaching skills are so tied together. And what you just talked about, leaders being better than just leaders who don't know how to coach. There's so much there. And at Coacharya, we're really, really big on that, very supportive of that. So when you join one of our programs with Zsofia or otherwise, you'll get to learn about that too, how you can be better with your team, not just with your clients. Zsofia, thank you so much. It was lovely to talk to you. I will add a link to this video's notes with Zsofia's profile so you can connect with her on LinkedIn. And I will also add a link to her program that's coming up with Coacharya very, very soon. So if you're thinking of becoming a credentialed coach with ICF or EMCC or CCE, please get in touch. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, Magda.